No broad tax hike as Rhode Island faces a budget shortfall. But Governor Dan McKee plans to raise cash in other ways.
By going after smokers, Airbnbs, digital advertising, and electric car drivers. As NBC 10 political reporter Brian Crandall tells us. Brian?
Gene Patrice, with costs outpacing the money coming in, the state is facing a more than $200 million shortfall. Now, there's some plans for new taxes and fees, but the governor's team says they've closed that gap without broad tax increases or major cuts, though hospitals are disagreeing tonight. The budget proposal is $14.2 billion, a jump of $250 million from last year's.
The governor was clear. We would focus on controlling expenditures rather than raising new revenue.
Though there is some of that, the proposal includes raising the cigarette tax by 50 cents to $5 a pack, applying the 5% hotel tax to short-term home rentals, and raising the tax on home sales over $800,000 as a way to fund help for the homeless. A 10% tax on digital advertising for companies with more than $1 billion in revenue, though not local media companies. Turning the truck tolls back on, though likely not for about a year. A $150 registration fee for electric vehicles and $75 for hybrids, with the rationale that they're not paying the gas tax.
It's about paying their fair share. Everyone is contributing to the wear and tear of roads.
What's McKee's plan to trim spending? Reducing contractors to state agencies, cutting phone bills, not renewing some leases to consolidate state offices under fewer roofs, saving money in the long term. That includes reviving a plan to buy a big Citizens Bank facility in East Providence. Lawmakers killed that idea last year. There's also a pitch to close the ACI's minimum security prison, which is only a quarter full, and move the inmates to a separate unit at the medium security lockup. McKee is proposing increased spending on job development and education, $43 million more for kindergarten through 12th grade, with a boost for urban districts. And, as the governor's mentioned before, he's including an assault weapons ban in the budget. Is the main impetus behind putting it in the budget just because it hasn't been able to pass on its own before?
It is a priority of the governor's. It is important.
But the House Speaker has already come out opposing putting the assault weapons ban in the budget, though McKee's team says there are tax elements to it. Now, lawmakers will review the governor's budget proposal for the next 5 months or so before voting on it. We have a lot more details on our homepage, turn to 10.com. I'm Brian Crandall, NBC 10 News.